Number one, so let's just go, we'll kind of go east to west. This is slightly west of us. But the first place that is not on a high enough radar screen, I think most Americans, but is critically important, is Venezuela. We've seen an authoritarian regime in Venezuela started by Chavista, now succeeded by Maduro. Venezuela, 25 years ago, was far and away the wealthiest country per capita in South America. Has oil reserves that are still, depending on how you cut it, 1, 2, or 3 in the world. For past 10 or 15 years, that regime has basically cut back dramatically on Venezuela's economy. We've seen a mass migration. 8 million of Venezuelans' population has left the country. Many, a few years back, would settle in Florida. More recently, though, particularly in the last 2 years, upwards of 40% of folks, when the border was too open, and I'm glad to see the border has been more shut down, we're Venezuelans. And what we did with the Maduro regime was a number of months back, we said, we will take back some of the sanctions, but you got to allow a free election. And the interesting thing is, Maduro did allow a relative free election. And the thing that was stunning, and why we've got to stay focused on this, is the Venezuelan people voted in record numbers. And even in those poorest parts of Venezuela, the barrios that had historically supported Chavez, they came out in overwhelming numbers. And the remarkable thing, and again, this is something we got to learn in America. Venezuela has one of the best electoral systems of making sure after the fact that you can't cheat. With an accounting and system that is, frankly, we could learn from. In the aftermath of that election, the Maduro government that night, a month or so ago, 2 months ago, said Maduro had won. The truth was, based upon every outside observer and at each of these polling stations, 25,000 roughly across the country, they had, the opposition and the regime were there, and they each got a little ticker at the end that said, kind of, vote totals. The actual vote facts were about 67% of the Venezuelans who voted for the opposition.